QPSMR Companion, how to include a Net Promoter Score, NPS. In this QPSMR Companion demonstration, we explain how to include a Net Promoter Score, and we'll show a few shortcuts along the way. When calculating an NPS, customers are allocated into one of three groups: promoters, passives, and detractors, depending on how they answer a "how likely are you to recommend" question. The question will usually have responses from 0, meaning very unlikely, through to 10, meaning very likely. Promoters are those who give a response 9 or 10. Passives are 7 or 8, and detractors 0 to 6. The NPS is calculated by subtracting the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters. Often, the "how likely are you to recommend" question is collected as an integer, so respondents enter their score, 0 through to 10. And this is how we will start, using a very simple holiday cottage questionnaire.
Looking at question 8, by double-clicking the question, we can see that this entry collects the respondent's likelihood to recommend the holiday cottage company. Clicking the Settings tab, we can see that responses 0 to 10 may be entered. The first thing we will do is to create a variable from question 8 and add the detractor, passive and promoter net responses. So, to save typing, we will first highlight and right-click Copy the question text from Q8. Then we'll close. And with the question highlighted, so the new variable will be positioned after it in the list of entries, we create a new variable by clicking the purple butterfly toolbar icon. We'll name the variable VQ8, and in the text box we right-click Paste to see the copied question text. The variable type should be left as multi-coded because respondents need to be included twice, once for their original response and once in the appropriate net group. Next we click the Responses tab and use the Add Responses toolbar icon, followed by Single Entry, Question 8 and OK. We then enter the responses required, that is, from 0 to 10, and select OK until we return to the Responses tab. Here we'll add the text to the first and last responses. Very unlikely and very likely. Notice score values of 0 to 10 have automatically been added by the program. If you would like the responses reversed, so the best score is listed first on your table, you can use the green Select All Responses toolbar icon and then the menu selection Responses, Reverse Responses. Notice the response order change. However, for this demonstration we'll show the worst score first, so we can again select all responses and reverse them. Now to add the nets. With response 11 highlighted, we use the Insert New Response icon, and in the definition box we overtype the definition Q8/0.6 and in the text box detractors. We can then copy and paste twice and change response 13 to be Q8/7.8 and the text passives, and response 14 to be question 8 / 9.10 promoters. Once we have checked that all responses are present and correct, and we've noted that the detractors net is response 12 and the promoters net is response 14, which will become rows 12 and 14 when tabulated, we close. Before creating our NPS table, we need to make a variable which will be used to show the final calculated NPS score. To do this, we make a new variable which we'll call NPS, and we'll use NPS for the text. It is single-coded with just one response using the definition F and the text NPS score. This response text will be included on our table, so if you prefer, alternative wording may be used. After closing the NPS variable, we will save our work. We will now open a tables file, QTF, which we will call NPS. In the tables file, we are going to set up 4 tables, which when run will give the impression of just one single table. The first table we create will have the variable VQ8 as the rows with no mean score. The second table will show the NPS score. The third table will show the mean score, and the fourth will contain the NPS calculation. This table will then be moved up so it's positioned before the other tables. So, from the tables window, we add a new table and drag and drop the existing VBreak variable into the columns box, and drag and drop our new VQ8 variable into the rows box. As we do not wish to show the mean score yet, we apply format option NAVG, that is print averages set off. We can then copy and paste this table, changing the table name from 2 to be 1A and changing the row entry to be our variable NPS. As we'd like the NPS score to follow immediately after table 1, we'll replace the format option shown with CON, print as continuation table. We can then paste again and change the table name to be 1B. This table will contain the mean score only, positioned after the NPS score. So we'll replace the format option shown with CON, print as continuation, and we'll also include NDIS, no distributions. So only the mean score will be shown. Then, as we do not wish to include any significance testing, we will add formats SLA and SLB, both set to 101. These formats mean that the testing levels are more than 100%, and therefore SIG testing will not be included. As always, when typing format options, each code is separated by a /. Finally, we will use the toolbar icon to add a manip stage CL syntax table to calculate the NPS score. In the syntax box, we type MT#1A open parens R1 close parens equals #1 open parens R14 close parens minus open parens R12 close parens comma. This means make table 1A row 1, which is the NPS score, equal to table 1 row 14, which was the promoters, minus row 12, the detractors. Finally, we use the Move Up toolbar icon to position this CL syntax table before our table 1. Note, if you include NPS tables in a file with other tables, you can simply refer to the appropriate table numbers and rows within them as required. We are now ready to run our tables. At the Overall Table Settings dialog box, we ensure that the correct data file is shown. If not, we can add it, and then select OK. Looking at the table, we can see the original VQ8 responses, followed by the NPS score, followed by the mean score. The NPS is expressed as a number from -100 to 100. The score is negative when a company has more detractors than promoters, and positive when a company has more promoters than detractors. So in short, the higher the positive score, the better. Looking at our fictitious data, we can see that this is a particularly high NPS for respondents that are aged 56 to 65. But in most other age groups, there's room for improvement. We hope you found this demonstration useful. Look out for more YouTube videos coming soon. Remember, always look for QPSMR Limited at the start of the name to ensure you are watching an official demonstration.
If you would like more details about the products and services available from QPSMR Limited, please visit our website www.qpsmr.co.uk.